Okay, everyone, and welcome to the Cali Curling Club in Regina for the 2026 CCAA and U Sports Championships. I'm Brian McCusker. I'm here with Matt Ring, who will be going to the Brier in about a week. And we are happy to bring you the opening game, the Niagara Knights versus the SAIT Trojans in the CCAA first round robin game. So in this first draw, it's entirely CCAA teams. So we've got both men and women playing. 8 games going on 8 sheets here at the Cali. And Matt, welcome. And I know you're part of the organizing committee here as well. And this is the very first time we've had the CCAA and the U Sports Championships played together. What can you tell us about that?
It's going to be a jam-packed Cali here, Brian. 16 on each side, and it's just glad to see both events kind of here together now, and everyone in one building, which is nice. And hopefully no one got blown over coming into the rink today, because it's a little ugly outside, but inside here we are ready to rock, I think.
Yeah, we have had absolutely amazing weather here in Regina for probably the last 2 weeks, just unseasonably warm, and then as soon as the teams arrived, it turned terrible.
Unfortunate timing. Hopefully the snow stays away, but we'll see.
So we are just watching the end of the last shot draws. The Niagara team has already thrown theirs. They had one back forefoot and one just kind of behind the button. And now Bailey Scoffin is about to throw the second rock here for SAIT.
Yeah, we've been tracking a few times, Brian, hey, and a little stiff out of the gate for Niagara at the first practice, but I think we're keening up pretty good here for game time.
Yeah, we're looking at about a 15-second draw to the tee line here as we get to the end of the second practice. This one looks a little bit heavy, and I think Niagara is going to get hammer in the first hand. Yeah, because there's a bit of a delay. So again, welcome everyone. We're going to be doing quite a few games here. We'll have one feature game on every draw with commentary, and a number of other games are being streamed. So I hope everyone is able to watch their favorite team and cheer them on from wherever you are in Canada.
Good afternoon and welcome to Draw 1 of this year's U Sports and CCAA Curling Championships.
Bon après-midi et bienvenue au match numéro 1 des championnats de curling U-Sport et des championnats de curling Association canadienne de U-Sport et sport collégial de 2026.
On sheet A, throwing the red stones, we have the Red Deer Polytechnic. Throwing the yellow stones, we have Assiniboine Community College.
Sur la classe A, lançons les pierres.
So we had a kind of an opening reception last night at the university, Matt, for all of the teams were there, and volunteers and a number of dignitaries, and kind of kicked things off. And I have to give kudos to you, because the evening ended with a video which featured some kind of selfie videos from a number of very well-known competitive curlers who have played in these U Sports or CCAA championships. Matt got a hold of Matt Dunstone, Mark Kennedy, Nolan Thiessen, Selena Negevin, Kayla McMillan, and Taylor Reese Hansen, and they all did just really fabulous kind of intros and encouragements to the team, and talked about their own experiences playing in these championships. And I just thought it was really inspiring for everyone. I got a bit of a lump in my throat watching it.
Oh, it was great. Oh, I think when we first sat at the beginning of April, Brian, we kind of thinking that maybe it's deep to go off this year. And I remember
On sheet E, throwing the red stones, we have Niagara College. Throwing the yellow stones, we have the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. On sheet F, throwing the red stones, we have Mohawk College. Throwing the yellow stones, we have Concordia University of Edmonton.
who's next, and that was our kind of tag for this event. And so we might find the next Matt Dunstone or Sarah Wilkes.
On sheet G, throwing the red stones, we have Salt College.
Yeah, and I love the Who's Next tag. I think that's really fitting for this championship, because I guarantee you that there will be players who are playing here this week that accomplish great things in the world of curling in Canada and hopefully internationally as well.
We have the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. Throwing the yellow stones, we have the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology.
This year, especially on the Grand Slam, small finding the Scottish too. So it's kind of the college side as well.
We actually have a number of players playing in these events who are already pretty accomplished athletes at the men's and women's level. Jacob Horgan, for example, is here. 3 of the members of the New Brunswick team that were at the Scotties are here, playing for the University of New Brunswick Reds. Our feature game today features Bailey Scoffin and Raylene Helston, who have played in the last 3 Scotties, playing for Yukon. So a lot of actually very familiar faces in the curling world already at this point in their careers are playing in this event.
And that might pay kudos to Curling Canada and their 125 program, where so it's good to see a lot of these young curlers are having success at the national stages. And when we were up and coming, it was the opposite, where the university curlers were just getting on juniors and to the events and seeds too. So it's pretty obvious for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Matt. And I think that that's the thing about the U Sports and the CCAA championships is it's a really good bridge from the junior curling world to the world of men's and women's curling, because it was very difficult for 20 and 21-year-olds to go and try playing against the top teams in the country and in the world. And this, like I said, it gives them a bridge. I'm a big fan of this event, of these events. So, we're underway. As we mentioned, Niagara has hammer. SAIT is throwing the first rock, and this is Madison Mallow, the lead for the SAIT team. Yeah, actually, I talked to the team before the game, and they said this is their 3rd year together, all 4 of them. They've had a couple of lineup changes, shuffled the lineup a bit, but for the most part, it's been the same 4. And that is actually pretty unusual for a university or college team to be able to have the same 4 players play together for 3 years in a row. The Niagara lead is Brianna Szigeti-Jonason, and she has successfully made a hit and stick. SAIT threw the first rock into the rings. They apparently are okay with playing up and down in the first end. They want to try to get a feel for the ice and not take any chances early. So Madison hits and rolls out. And now we'll see what Niagara's strategy is, if they're going to go after it a little bit, and it looks like they are. They've said that they're going to throw a corner guard, so they want to muck it up a bit here and try to get a multiple score here in the first end. Yeah, that shot a little bit heavy by Brianna, but really good movement in the wings, and that's good to see. It means they're going to be able to use corner guards and play all kinds of shots. So Kaylee Shannon is the second for SAIT. She played an in-turn hit, and it's hit and rolled out, and this will give Niagara another chance to get a corner guard, and this will be the second Cassie Bernard.
Okay. 10. It just backs up there. Curls the hair here.
Yeah, but it really backs up at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
This one just backs up the entire way.
I did that in practice.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I know, I just wanted to give you a little more because you were saying you wanted more ice, but yeah.
on like the forefoots, but
Yeah. I know, but still. This one doesn't back up quite as much. You want to just throw a 10?
Yep.
I like that because it's,
on the rocks there.
yeah. I think right there. 10. Just a 10. Clean. Yep. Hard! You're holding it, yep. Good sweep, Madison. Sorry guys, I softed it. But, okay.
Probably just because
Yeah. That works. Yeah. I think I picked big, so I didn't want to like set it out there, but it worked. Okay. Make her make the shot. Again? It's a 10. Won't soft it this time. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Heavy clean. Just clean. Yep. Thanks. I didn't soft it. I like that. Makes it tougher to roll out. Further away to roll.
perfect roll, so I think I'm much better.
I still like top 4. Make their lead hit.
So,
Just do it. If it's tight, that's fine. I softed my first, but it worked. Better than tossing it wide, I think. Yeah. Line's good. You got room. Wait only. Still running a bit. Okay, all you. Yep. 5-4.
Madison, you're your first one in the top 8 there.
Good. so. Tap it back. Yeah. Oh.
So as we begin the second end, once again, SAIT has thrown their first rock into the rings. This time Niagara has chosen to ignore it and put up a corner guard, and it looks like game is on.
Game is on for sure, Brian. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get some action here in the second end.
Halfway tight's good. Room. Okay, all you then. Okay, line's good. Can curl a bit. Okay, line's good, line's good, line's good. Curl, 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 curl. Yep, 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 yep. Great, that's perfect.
That's a very nice shot by Madison Malo. Niagara is going to play a freeze to that rock.
That works. Covering the guard side. So.
Yeah, just like Bailey said, covering the right side. Brian, just take away that hit and roll to the corners. Also a win for that center line guard too.
They called the freeze, but it looks like it's going to be... I thought it was just when our clock wasn't running.
So Brianna Zaghetti-Jonathan attempted a freeze, and that's come up short.
Do you want to come around?
Not a completely wasted shot, because they can still use that as a corner guard.
Yeah, might have just caught some fresh pebble out there. Looked like a little wider than what we saw in practice, path-wise, and
yeah,
just unfortunately caught some fresh pebble there.
It's a new path. Line's good. Line's good. Oh, line's good. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Running, running.
Kaylee Shannon attempting to come around this rock
Whoa.
and get it right into the forefoot, and this is looking really good.
Whoa, 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 whoa. 4-1. 4-1.
Maybe just a little heavier than they wanted, but that's a pretty good result. And Niagara sees trouble, and they are going to clear the front. That's a good peel. So Kaylee will be asked to replace that guard.
These guards, Brian, will have to be fairly precise, as Niagara does have those two reds can act as corners. If you show half a rock on either way, you will have a bit of a hack weight shot with the movement here to make a play on that top one. So yeah, the guards will have to be pretty precise here.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, curl, curl.
And this is going to be a little bit heavy and slip into the rings. So this is a bit of a break for Niagara. It's going to give them a chance now to play on a hit in the house.
It's getting speedy. That was a 15. It's tough double. Yeah.
So if she can hit right between those two, she should be able to double and stick the rock right there.
Might get a little kick up after. No, very good throw.
Yeah, that is a good shot. So Bailey can't really ignore that rock. She's going to play a hit on that and try to roll in front of the other one.
And again, playing that 10-second hit, Brian, is seems pretty comfortable for the SAIT team here to make those hit and precise rolls.
Oh! Curl! Curl! No roll, no roll. Wait.
It's a little bit high and rolls out, and that's going to give an opportunity for Niagara to play a hit and use one of those two corner guards that they've got. And she just got that a little bit outside, and
You want to go here?
it didn't
Here?
come back.
Might be a, a trend we see this week too, Brian. If your weight's up a little bit, it might run a little straighter than you anticipate, and teams have
Yeah.
to be careful of that for sure.
Absolutely.
So it seems like Bailey and the girls have figured out this side of the sheet. They were lining up those first few
Right toe pose, perfect, clean.
pretty identical. So
Clean.
looking to do the same here.
Just bite in.
Yeah, their line has been fantastic on these shots. They just had
Curl, curl.
that one draw that was
Yeah.
a little bit heavy and let Niagara off the hook, the guard
Hard,
attempt.
Keely. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's a very good shot by Raylene.
5-7. Like that? Yeah.
You can hear Bailey in the background, Brian. Bit of a new rule, right, with Curling Canada, where teams can talk with their coaches when their clock isn't running. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Raymond's back up, but until you're gonna start curling until you can't curl it until it catches the curl. Is that right? Same thing.
And again, just a little bit outside, and that
Just a
hits and
good
rolls
moving
off.
goal of 8.
And Bailey will try to replace that rock.
Pretty speedy, hey?
Yeah, Bailey said the one draw came in at 15 seconds, so this side of the sheet is definitely keening up,
If it's tight, that's fine.
as we've only been out this
Fighting.
right side of the sheet the whole end here, so should run very nice.
Line's good. Line's good. Whoa, got a curl, curl.
And that's a really good shot.
Very sweet.
We're just a little up and to the left of the center line here, but yeah, that does look like it's fully covering that shot rock. And a pretty genius spot, really, right? Because she can't make the run back and roll into the rings, I don't think. Be a very tough shot. She might get a biter, but that's a good placement from Bailey.
Yeah, really good rock management there by Raylene and Madison. They judged that perfectly and
What was the one?
put it almost exactly in the spot where they wanted it.
It's gonna move.
Pretty close to nose here. Might clip the back one a little bit.
She's got a little bit of clip there. That's a shot that she might have wanted to play a little bit more weight on Matt, just so she got more action on that rock after she hit it.
I would agree. A little maybe unfortunate. You could maybe is the right word, where she's kept that shooter right in front of the rock or the shot rock now. So Bailey has a chance to really put the pressure on Niagara here with their last, if she can sink one.
No. They ran out of be hidden. I'll give you just a touch more.
Yeah, and she's right. Just a touch more, right, Brian? Some teams maybe tend to think they need that 6 feet more, but a couple feet more with the brush should do it.
Yeah, they never really had a hard sweep on that first one. They mostly just cleaned it all the way down. So it'll be good for Bailey to use her sweepers a little bit here. Her line looks really good. And that is absolutely perfect.
That's right on the X for sure.
So I got a 15.3 on that mat, and that's almost to the tee line. So that is pretty fast. I assume that is as fast as we're going to get here.
Just got out a bit wider.
Yeah, we'll have to see later in the ends here how the speed holds up.
Exactly.
Might be
See if we get a little bit of wear in the center of the sheet and a little bit of flattening of the ice,
Yeah,
which sometimes can make it a little bit slower.
I would think a few teams might be checking into the live stream to catch some of the times here to see what they might expect just before the break, and then with that mop might change for a few ends after, but we'll see late in the game here how it ends up.
So this is not an easy shot for Julia Markle
I don't think there
for
is.
her
I
first
think
draw
it's
of the
not
game.
like
She has to go a little bit wider, and she's got to catch a pretty good chunk of the forefoot here.
Yeah, this is wider than any team in practice went, so this will be definitely a little fresher. And
Yeah, and I think she got caught on that she the weight she threw, I think probably was pretty close if she had been more down center, but she was out into very new ice, and it's a steal of 2 for SAIT as they go up 2-0 after 2 ends.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, look. Keep putting the pressure on him. Puppy. They're gonna get so guard, so. Okay. I like it. No, exactly, yeah.
So a big steal of 2 for SAIT,
Did I hit you?
and they take a 2-0 lead
I
to the
did.
third end here. So I had an interesting conversation with the SAIT Trojan girls before the game. They play in the ACAC, the Alberta College Conference. And unlike the other conferences, that conference doesn't just have a championship. They actually have a series of events throughout the year. And I think is a great idea, because it means that they get to play together a lot more than most of these teams do. And they play against the other colleges, and SAIT had a dominant year. They went undefeated in those events.
okay.
Then they got to the provincial championship and won all 4 round robin games. And then things went a little bit bad for them. They lost the 1-2 game and then lost the semifinal and came back and won the bronze medal game, which got them here to Regina. But the girls said that they were a little bit disappointed with their result in provincials, and they really want to make amends for that here in Regina. And from what we've seen so far, this looks like a really strong team.
No, I would agree, and some pretty good resumes on this team too, obviously, with the back end attending the Scotties the last few years, and might be a little difficult throughout the year to balance those schedules, right, with those few extra ACAC spiels, but I think any practice you can get with a full foursome is just beneficial coming into this event for sure. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, pretty good resumes for the skip and third, Bailey Scoffin and Raylene Helston. They have played in the last 3 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, playing for Yukon, which is where Bailey Scoffin is from. She's a native of Whitehorse. And I'm sure many of you have watched Bailey and Raylene play on TSN in the Scotties, and they've pulled some really big upsets,
Yeah.
and I think are absolutely a pleasure to watch.
Any experience at that level is just a huge confidence booster. Maybe coming into an event like this, getting that experience against the biggest names in the country is always going to pay off at any level. And rewinding back a bit to that journey they took to get here, I saw in the game notes that Bailey and Ray Lynn showed up to that first game just 15 minutes prior as they were trying to catch a flight back from Mississauga there. So
Oh, really?
good that they were able to have some success after a bit of a travel delay.
9-5.
So that was a good bounce back shot by Brianna Seghetti-Johnson on her second one. She made a nice hit, moved both yellow rocks, and stuck her shooter. She had a flash on her first one, so good to see her bounce back with a nice second shot. And now a hit and stick by Kaylee Shannon. So SAIT is continuing to put the pressure on.
9-3.
Niagara facing two and with nothing up front. So this is the second Megan Ford. I had Megan and Cassie mixed up in the first end. They apparently have switched positions since the rosters were set for this.
Just top 4.
And with the Knights, Brian, it might be a different look to the season where I believe Julia skips her own team on the women's scene out in Ontario, and bringing in 3 new teammates for an event might be a little challenging, but just a few more reps maybe before the event would help pay off. But yeah, maybe a different little scene between the two teams with familiarity teammate wise.
Make sure it's here. Yep. No back.
We talked about how SAIT got here, a little bit of background about how Niagara got here. So they beat Humber in the OCAA final on February 7th to win the OCAA championship. And I talked to the team before the game, and they said that winning the semifinal clinched a spot here in Regina for them, and that was the big game. That really was what made their season. And then they said they went into the final really just very loose and relaxed, and came out and played a fantastic game and upset Humber to win.
Beautiful. No, that's good to see that they're nice and relaxed for that final, and obviously woke up for that semi was the big one, but it's always nice to come out on top at the end of the day.
So that was very close to a great shot by Megan Ford. Just a little bit outside. Her weight was really good. She was playing a freeze. And that's going to give an opportunity for Raylyn to play a hit and stick here.
Looking like Niagara has maybe switched gears to try to place a good freeze and maybe force a jam to get their deuce. Hoping maybe to set up a bit of a wall behind the tee line there after this one comes to rest.
Hard for nose.
Yeah, and I like that strategy. There's really no danger here in playing a freeze. There are no guards in play, so even if you didn't make it perfectly, as Megan didn't quite make it perfectly, you can still, as we can see, get another shot at it. And so now it will be Cassie Bernard playing basically the same shot. So Julia should have a really good idea where to put the broom.
It is a little tight with the hand. We'll see if it runs similar to the last one here. Looks like a little more weight maybe, keeping it straighter.
Yeah, and that's just a miss on weight. I think the line was actually really good there if her weight had been good.
I'm gonna give you a hair more.
Bailey's team will have to be a little careful here, not to nose and maybe set up a big pocket, because I think that's what Julia and the Knights are looking for here, is a bit of a nose hit, I think.
Curl. Okay, it's just rolling out. That's okay.
And that's fine. That's not going to hurt them at all.
You need to step on your toes. Yeah, I looked at it. But it, you know.
And once again, Cassie Bernard will try this freeze. See if she can make an adjustment from the first one.
Wade's looking very good here in line as well from where we're sitting. See if he ends up in a good spot.
That is a great shot, and that's a really good adjustment by Cassie.
Even less. Just run so straight here.
This might be our first test, Brian, to see the liveliness of the stones and how much action we get on maybe a peel weight shot.
Huh?
Yeah, good point.
Bailey's gonna have to push this 6 feet to get it out of the ring, so we'll see. We'll see how much this will spin off that back yellow.
Clean. Clean. Yes. Yes. Whoa.
And that is a very clean big weight throw. Like, she generated a lot of power there and effortlessly. Just a really smooth delivery. Hit it absolutely perfectly.
Looking like those peels are running pretty straight. She put the broom right where she wanted to hit it pretty well, so.
And it did. As soon as they put the boom down, it backed up. I was like,
So Julia will play that same intern freeze. This is now their fourth attempt at it. She's hoping she can make it as good as Cassie Bernard did on her previous one and put more pressure on the SAIT team.
Yeah, they made it fairly good. We thought the first one there, Brian.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Bailey
And
just
Bailey
made a
picked it
better
out
one.
like nothing.
but it carries so much.
Just a little short.
Yeah. Middle, I think.
And that means Julie is going to put some pressure on herself to make another big draw with her last one. And Bailey is going to try to drop this one around right on top of the button, just probably trying to bite the front of the button and make the draw as difficult for Julie as possible.
Even if it's just light, it blocks the draw path a bit. Makes them go in a different path.
And might force them to, like Bailey said, draw that other side of the sheet, which we haven't been on yet, going away here. So will be a different scene for Julia.
Yeah, that's very well thought out by Bailey. She said that if we're a little bit short, we can at least drop it in a spot where that in-turn path is taken away and force Niagara to the out-turn, which they really haven't played at all this end.
Sweepers are backing off of this one. Hoping to not leave a bit of a wall back there. But
Yeah, and that is not what Bailey wanted. She wanted to be short, if anything. She's let Niagara off the hook a little bit here. This is not an easy shot, but certainly is a lot easier than it would have been if Bailey had been that much in front of the button instead of behind it.
yeah, not much, right, Brian? It looks like just maybe 3 feet higher would have been the absolute X, but yeah, it leaves a bit of a window here open for the Knights to get shot rock.
Gotta pretty much get, I guess, full four. The button's so small. So weird when they're so small. It does. Oh, lots more.
Line's what they want, Brian, from where we're sitting. If the weight's there, it should be pretty good. 14-3. Carve it a bit. But it's looking like she'll make a nice shot here.
Yeah, that is an absolute game saver for Julia Markle. Facing 4, and she puts it right exactly on the spot. So that's a big
Timeout for the
single
three.
point for Niagara, and they
Have the
are
ice
down
maker
2-1 after 3
or
ends.
whoever. Yeah, it rattled when it was coming that way too, and I checked it. And it yeah, well, we just gotta wait for the ice maker. Oh, I guess so. We're playing well, guys. Yeah. Pro side misses, and not that we're missing, but yeah. We're on the right side of the inch. But keep, yeah, exactly.
So I just mentioned the coaches of these two teams. The coach for the Niagara Knights is Chris Pulowski, and the coach for the SAIT Trojans is Shannon Kleibrink, which is a name that I'm sure is familiar to many of you. Shannon, a former Olympian bronze medalist. I believe the last time the Olympics were in Italy is when Shannon played.
Out in Turin there, right?
Yeah. And a former teammate of my wife, Joan McCusker, actually. They played together for a year.
Okay.
And so I give a lot of credit to the coaches of all of these teams. I think it means a lot to these teams to have a strong coach, especially for players at this age. And obviously these two coaches very accomplished.
Yeah, and you've sat in that chair too, Brian, right, at this level, and so you know best on the value. And again, from an athlete perspective, I might have been my first team when you coached us there for the U of R Cougars at that level for me. So no, having coaches of credentials and your caliber too, and any coach at this level is beneficial, especially with that new rule. We're able to chat in between shots a little bit is always a good developmental tool at this age for sure.
So we've got a bit of a delay. It seems as though one of the rocks, the handle was loose. You could hear them talking about the handle rattling. So
It's a bit heavy on my last.
one of the ice makers has come out and fixed that up, and we're ready to go again. Yeah, I coached here in 2014, which is the last time the U Sport Championship was held here in Regina. And Matt, you were on that team, as was my son, Rory McCusker. Caitlin Schneider was the skip, and Brendan Ryan, and you guys had a really good run in that event.
That
And
side's way like fast.
that really was one of the events that convinced me of the value of this U Sport and CCAA championship, and it just was a really good event for you guys. And you know, there were a number of extremely good players at that event. Matt Dunstone won the U Sport men's championship. He beat Brendan Botcher in the final. Jamie Sinclair won the women's championship and beat Kelsey Rock in the final. There were just a lot of players at that event that have gone on to become very good curlers. Caitlin Schneider, for example, multi-time Brier competitor.
I agree. No, it was a fun event to be a part of, not just with the other names that were there, but
Okay, curl, Kaylee.
the
Bring it
ability
back,
to
bring it back.
play in a national championship
Hard, hard,
in
yep,
Canada
hard.
is something special,
Yep,
and
yep.
and you meet some friends along the way too that you kind of
That's
keep in
fine.
touch with, and obviously see them on tour. If you're out playing the
Go
tour
to-
with your men's and women's teams, you see those friends too. So it's
Better
it's
there
it's a
than
great
back.
event.
And it's covered.
Yeah, the social aspect of this event, I think, is really important too, because you are meeting a lot of players your own age in similar situations to you, and all trying to accomplish the same thing.
She just really got it out there and it got in the path.
And the unique thing about curling, I've found, Brian, through the years too, it's not just those on ice acquaintances, but you seem to see a few curlers out in the workforce too, and I'm sure a lot of these athletes will see that in a few years once they graduate. But the connections you make outside in your career of choice is there's always seems to be maybe a curling or two tie with professionalism in your careers. So yeah, no, not just on the ice, but off the ice too. You seem to make a lot of friends and a lot of contacts.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I know in my position, and I was a manager for many years in the IT industry, and if I ever saw on a resume that someone had been a U Sport athlete, for me that absolutely was a marker of someone who had the self-discipline to not just get good marks in school, but also to put the time in to become an elite athlete.
It's not the easiest thing, especially at the post-secondary level, trying to balance prioritizing this team for this championship, but your men's and women's team, your studies, your part-time work. Like it tells a full story about an individual. And I know I was just a sport and rec student, so maybe a little easier than the engineers and the maybe the more detailed programs. But again, all in all, no matter what you take, it takes a special person to be able to balance and dedicate time to this sport. So you're exactly right with that.
Well, the Niagara Knights off to a great start here in the fourth end. They got a long guard from Brianna, and then came in with the rock, and Madison Malo was just a little bit short with hers, and now Megan Ford has dropped one right on the button behind the guard, and Bailey is in a bit of a quandary here. She's got two guards to deal with and two opposing rocks on the center line in the rings.
It's a tough decision. As you saw, Bailey went up to that high one, but maybe realizing that this one could be ran in, A, is your own color, and B, that high one may not be the trouble rock right now. If I think it's this yellow one you want to get flown into the house and see what you can rattle.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's always great to try to peel two guards, but like you said, that one just over the hog line is not really that dangerous for the SAIT team. So that's a good peel by Kaylee Shannon. She would have preferred to run it into the Reds, but it's going to force Niagara to replace that rock. And once again, Megan Ford will be asked to throw a guard here.
Okay. Yeah. She just threw a 7-5 on that. Yeah. That's her best. She saw it.
So great line, but just a little bit heavy, and that slips into the rings. And again, that's going to let SAIT off the hook a bit. Bailey will play a double on that. Kaylee Shannon basically throwing the same shot she just threw. Bailey's asked for a 9-second hit, which is what would often be referred to as normal weight hit. And now she says 8-5, so that's more like a peel.
If it's hit just right, Brian, they may be able to dodge that back yellow, very precise, but
I really think you could get all three reds if you hit this perfectly.
Whoa, whoa. Pearl. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, hard.
She got a little unlucky on the back, but that's actually a really good shot. That cleans up that middle really well for SAIT. And Niagara now with Cassie Bernard will come around with the intern and try to get one, probably just biting the front forefoot around that long guard.
I know. Yeah. She's trying to give her that extra inch of kick.
That's a pretty good shot. Maybe a little short of where they wanted, but it's
I think it's us, but
partly covering
I
that
think
back
we still
one.
open this up.
And Bailey thinks that yellow is second shot, but this is actually a good call because that's a dangerous rock to be leaving right on the center line in the front 12 foot.
Agreed. Too many rocks in play, or too many rocks remaining still to maybe make a move into the rings here with that rock behind the tee lines. No, I definitely agree with this call here too. If you can stick this yellow just in the side of the rings, there's two yellows that Niagara's got to keep in mind without last rock. So if you can make a good roll here, it might make the Knights think a little bit.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a tough break. Took out the side yellow as well. It looked like that was really good weight by Ray Lynn. I think she just got a little bit out there.
Big and wide. Wide. Okay. She does it.
A little bit of confusion there. That Julia thought it was her turn to shoot, and it isn't quite yet. This happens quite often in curling, actually a lot more than you would think,
It's really good.
just to lose track of whose shot it is.
We were shot.
It's a little bit different with this team as well because the third, Cassie Bernard, does not hold the broom for Julia Markle. Instead, Brianne Seghetti Jonathan does, and so Cassie was already down in the hack ready to throw. And this one is very heavy. And she will not be happy with that. And that's going to give Bailey a chance to play a hit and roll in front of that wall of reds.
I'm going to give you same height.
Yeah, same path they just threw here, so they should have a bit of an idea. Again, the key, Brian, just nailing that weight that you want to throw is sometimes the way teams, any team that misses the way they don't want to is not throwing the right weight, but obviously easier said than done.
10.
Yeah, and you know, that shot, Matt, was an example of what you talked about earlier, the liveliness of the stones. When that rock made contact, I thought for sure she was going to stick in the rings.
No, I agree.
But that rock that absolutely exploded, and that was not a hard thrown hit. That was probably a 10.5-second hit that she got, I'm going to say 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the rock, and still rolled out of the ring. So this is something the teams are going to learn and get used to as the event goes on, that these rocks are very lively.
Those hit and rolls might be a little tougher than we think for this week, if that's the bounce that we're going to get, which teams have to pick up on, obviously.
Yeah. No, it just straight backs up. It's 11.
Maybe just a little bit of an undercurl, really good weight. She would have wanted that rock to curl maybe another 3 or 4 inches and get more behind that long guard. Looks like Bailey can probably see close to all of this rock, at least 3/4, and she's going to play that soft weight hit at this.
She might have room to sneak under the guard to make the chase a little tougher for Julie here, if that would be.
Yeah, she's got a lot of options. I'm thinking she's probably going to try to tip inside and get behind the guard, but if she does roll broom side, There are a lot of rocks that her shooter could be jammed on at the back there.
Clean, clean.
Just super impressed with her delivery and how clean she comes out of the hack.
Hard.
It looks like they are playing to roll away. That's a good shot.
That's a good roll, for sure.
I think Davey Scoffin has played this end very intelligently. The fourth end of an 8-end game is an end where you really want to make sure you score. You want to keep the hammer in the even ends. And she has, on a couple of occasions, played shots that were very risk-free to make sure that she had a chance to score her one here. She's got a 1-point lead. If she can score a 1 here, she's 2 up playing
She can't roll
the fifth
unless
end
it jams.
and in pretty good shape.
Early end there with a few rocks behind the tee line, you might see some teams play the offense card and come down and try to make your deuce that way. But I agree with you, Brian. Scoring in the even ends here when you have a chance to is, especially being up 1 with hammers, is a well played end from the SAIT Trojans here.
Julia now playing to get that rock out, and she does. And rolls away. So that's a good result for Juliet. She really didn't have much of a chance of stealing this end. So she's now going to get the force. She's going to force Bailey to play either a hit or a draw against 2.
Yeah, I was just thinking we don't have an overhead shot, but I wasn't sure if they're eyeing up if there was a blank at all, but it must not be as easy as the risk would be, like you said, make sure you score in the even here.
Yeah, this is a shot you may see some of the top men's teams that can throw really hard play a blank, but it's not an easy blank.
No, definitely isn't.
You've kind of got to hit those rocks at about the same time and then spin your shooter out. I think this is a smart call.
Make sure, guys. You got it, guys. You got it.
They got to go to get this one here, Brian.
Yeah,
I know
they do. They're
need
really working this hard.
full 12. It's going to be really close. Oh, and I'm not sure.
I think they got it there. They're giving high fives.
Sorry, guys.
They must have.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a sweep.
That was an amazing sweep. Those 2 were on that right out of her hand. And as they say, that shot was made in the gym. That is just really good muscle power and cardiovascular by both of those sweepers. That is just a great sweep.
And a well-deserved break here for that sweep as well.
Yeah, they do get the fourth end break now so they can catch their breath a bit.
Oh, no. Yeah. I felt like I threw, oh, it's fourth end break. I felt like I threw pretty similar to what I have been throwing.
About it maybe coming down and
Yeah.
in that situation again. You guys will make
And with that wider path too, like it wasn't as warm. But thank you guys. You crushed that. Mm-hmm.
Niagara out east in St. John's would be extra special for us too. So looking forward to it.
You think a St. John's Briar would be fun?
I'm thinking so, especially with the hype around this one, and I know a few comments from 2017 when they last hosted it there, and obviously Brad winning that one. It might have stirred a little bit of a buzz on how much fun a curling event is in your hometown, and I think maybe a lot of the folks that were able to wander out in 2017 will be back for sure with ready to have some more fun. So.
Well, I can't even imagine what the atmosphere in that arena is going to be like. It's going to be absolutely electric, and I think our team is privileged in that we're going to be in the same pool as Brad Gushu's team is, and Nathan Young, the other Newfoundland team. So I think the crowds are going to be extra special in the draws that we're in, and it's just going to be a great experience to be in that arena, in that atmosphere.
Yes, no, being in Brad's pool obviously will be special, and I believe it's an evening draw too, so may have to. I don't know how the Riders and the Blue Bombers put the stadium noise in when they practice, but I don't think you can do that in curling, so it might be a little tougher to adapt to an atmosphere like that when either Newfoundland team is playing. But
well, it's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys worked hard on that. I was like, you got it!
I know I played in the 2002 Briar in Calgary in the Saddle Dome, and we played one game where the next sheet to us was a big game late in the week between Randy Furby, David Nedwin team against John Morris, and the Saddle Dome was completely packed, 17,000 people. And Nedwin made an incredible shot, and the place just erupted. And I remember saying to one of my teammates, this is what it must feel like to be a professional athlete. It's just so much fun to play in that kind of environment and with that many fans.
And that was probably your first taste of that, something like that, right, Brian?
First taste of a crowd that big, for sure. That was my third Briar, but I hadn't seen crowds like that. Yeah, it was just so thrilling.
It's a big part of the game too, especially with these young athletes up and coming. The more taste you can get of that experience of playing in front of thousands of fans, and obviously I know Bailey and Henry Lynn have that experience and playing in front of so many arenas with the Scotties there. But a lot of these athletes will find their way one day to that level, and it'll be something like that. Curlers are very composed individuals from what I've seen throughout the country, and I know everyone's got that ability to shake that up. I know, like you said, that's a part of the game where it gets a little bit weird when you get to that level.
I hear Bailey say, great, sweet Kaylee. You may have noticed that Kaylee is doing the bunny hop when she sweeps, and you're starting to see that more and more in the curling world. You're seeing quite a few of the players at the Olympics doing that. Certainly Rasmus Rano, Taylor Anderson Hyde from the U.S. women's team, and I actually think it's very effective. I think it makes a lot of sense in getting both feet off the ice and maximum amount of pressure on the broom. I also know it's extremely hard to master, and takes a lot of practice and I think a lot of core strength.
No, I agree in effectiveness too. It seems to do a lot to a rock when it comes to maybe curling, and
especially carving. I think it really makes a difference on carving a rock.
Agreed.
So Madison Mallow a little bit short on her first one, and then Brianna Sketty Jonathan trying to throw a corner guard, and she was a little bit heavy on hers. So SAIT is going to make a hit on that rock in the rings, and this is Madison Mallow again.
And I noticed, Brian, they didn't mop after the break there, so speed should be fairly similar to what they saw last time.
Okay, I did not notice that. Good catch. So this is a really good call by Julia Markle. She's ignoring that rock. She's going to, again, try to throw a corner guard. She knows that she needs to generate a multiple score this end. And so she's going to try to get a corner guard up with Brianna.
Oh, I love the call too, especially with that center guard maybe being a little higher than SAIT wanted it. It's maybe not as much of a threat to the Knights as a typical center guard would be. So no, I love this call too.
Yeah, exactly. They're really not a steal danger here with where that long yellow guard is. And that's a good shot, Brianna. Kaylee Shannon will try to throw an in-turn draw to the top forefoot here.
Teams on this side of the sheet, Brian, have put the broom in the right spot. I know in the third end there going away, they made this come around. Yeah, maybe a few missed on the weight, but line, I think everyone's found the broom on this side of the sheet.
Yeah, I agree, Matt. Very good ice reading by both skips. Megan Ford now trying to come around that guard that Brianna put up.
Yeah, staying on the offense pedal here for sure. And realizing that draw that SAIT just put top 8 goals and date from both sides, maybe even, especially the intern, so ignoring it for now.
They just didn't curl as much as they thought. We did see a really good curl out to the wings earlier in the game, and I'm wondering if it maybe is straightening out just a bit. But SAIT will now play a hit and roll on that. That rock is wide open. Couple of nice shots by Kaylee.
I guess, Brad, we could do a bit of a score update across the sheets here after the break. On the college side, all games this afternoon are college games here. So the Red Deer Polytechnic Queens are up 10-1 against the Assiniboine Cougars after 4 ends. We also have the Assiniboine Cougars men's team down 5-3 to the Humber Hawks after the break. Sheet C, we have the Pac West women up 8-3 after the break against the Humber Hawks. Sheet D, we have the Mohawk Mountaineers men's. They are down 5-3 to the, pardon my pronunciation, the Gaillard de Zikep team. My apologies. And we also have on sheet E, we have that's us. My apologies. SAIT Trojans are up 3-1 against Niagara here, which we've been tuning into. Sheet F, we have the Concordia Thunder women up 3-1 against the Mohawk Mountaineers women's team. Sheet G, a lot of action, as we said here at the Cali. We have the Sioux College men are up 3-1 against Concordia Thunder men. And our final sheet out on sheet H, we have the SAIT Trojans men against the NAIT men, and it's 3-1 after the break as well. And as mentioned a lot of action here streaming wise as well. I believe the amazing Cougars media team who have been grinding here the last 48 hours. Kudos to them and a great production we have for the week. And I believe the plan is there'll be stationary cameras as well on sheets A, C, E, E being our commentary, and then G as well. So at home, I believe that is the plan. As of now, if we do get word, we'll definitely keep everyone updated, but those sheets will have some sort of stream available for those at home. So it's great to have that coverage all week here, Brian. I think is a huge benefit.
Yeah, it is, and I hope you're enjoying it at home, and it's giving you a chance to watch the team that you're following here. So we've just had a couple of great shots. Cassie Bernard made a beautiful in-turn draw around those 3 yellows at the front of the house. It was almost a must-make shot for Cassie in order to keep Niagara in this end. But Raylene Helston just came down and froze to that rock, so pretty much neutralizes that rock. And now it's decision time for Julia Markle. She's got a lot of trouble there at the front of the house, and I think she's making a smart call here to do a bit of a cleanup and try to get herself some access to that 4-foot.
Yes, it's going to take definitely 2 rocks to get that yellow one off. It's just not quite the right angles at the front of the house, like you said, to directly remove that one just thrown. But unfortunately, they rack on the guard too.
So SAIT will try to replace that guard, maybe get it a little bit tighter than that. Or they may try to come right in, and it looks like that's what Bailey is indicating.
Yeah, the angles up top definitely favor SAIT so far. And you're right, Bailey debating whether to just plant another one on top of the 4-foot there to really shrink that area down at the end of the end.
It's looking perfect. You're dead frozen on bottom, so.
Shot by Bailey.
A good guard, and it looks like Megan Ford might be heading down to take a look at what the best call is for the Knights here to try to free up some of that 4-foot, and even free up the button in this case. Can't quite see the overhead view, but
yeah, the play is at the far end. We don't have an overhead view, but it looks to me like that rock is frozen solid on the button, which means it's going to be really hard for Niagara to get that rock off the button. They're looking at running something in, and I think that's pretty much what they have to do here. They're totally in bail mode at this point.
Yeah. It's gonna take 2. Yeah. It's gonna take 2 shots. The boys are not doing well on time.
tough to say what those top 3 yellows are angle-wise, but I'm thinking, Brian, a hair high on the broom side could work out fairly well for the Knights to make those 3 splash a little bit to open it up.
And based on where she's got the broom, I think that's the way she's playing this, is to hit it a little bit high side. And by high side, we mean on the broom side. And then we're just going to see how those rocks fly.
They are.
She's just got that one going a bit, and she's not going to get contact on any of those yellows in the rings. So I expect Bailey will play the exact same shot. Sweepers like it. Seem to be just cleaning it. It may be a little bit deeper than she wanted, but I don't think that's going to hurt her.
Yeah, the Knights might just be forced to give up a steal here, Brian.
Yeah,
and try to get their deuce back in 6 here.
They may need to throw this away. They are looking at an angle slash, and I guess they could play that. There's a little bit of danger, though, that if you hit it a little bit thin and across the top of that yellow, it could kick the back red out and leave a lot of yellows in the rings. And it looks like she may be trying to draw down to that and see if she can get enough of the button to count, but I really don't see how Niagara counts here.
No, it might be tough. This might be just get a draw in your back pocket weight-wise to maybe have an idea later in the game. But yeah, just too good of a freeze earlier there, Brian, as you mentioned, to be able to do much.
It's a great try by Julia, but I really don't think she had a shot there.
Whoa.
No, it always helps as a skip to be able to throw a draw in case you need one later on. So she'll definitely remember that, as she was top 12 in perfect line to get to the button, so that might come into effect later on.
Yeah, if you're a player on the SAIT team right now, you've got to be saying thank you to Raylene Helston. She made an absolutely beautiful freeze there that pretty much socked that end away for SAIT, and she made an incredible sweep on the last rock at the last end, along with Madison Mallow to avoid a steal of 2 and get a point for SAIT. So great couple of ends for Raylene.
Usually in the skins format is where maybe one shot could do it for you, but I think in that end right there, the freeze was obviously the game changer for the SAIT Trojans.
Yep. K-line's good. Get it biting. Yep, you got it, guys. Yep. 16-8. Good sweep.
Once again, Madison a little bit short on that rock. They would have rather had that rock in the rings. And Julia Marco, once again, will play the corner guard game.
Might take some time, Brian, to thank some of our generous sponsors that helped put this event together for us here in Regina. The University of Regina Alumni Association hopped on board, which is great to see them give back to a community event that the university is hosting. We have Regina Hotel Association, Old Dutch, SaskTel, Government of Saskatchewan, our volunteers sponsor, Sask Energy. Thank you. The Factory, who helped with a lot of our athlete clothing, which is great. I believe they're on site this afternoon too, so any athletes that are maybe looking for an extra order or weren't able to ahead of the event can visit the Factory here on site. Original 16, SAS Lotteries, and Ralco Radio. So thank you everyone for your support.
Stay close.
Yeah, very important to have sponsors for an event like this, and all of those sponsors have been very generous in their support.
Yep. Yeah, it's ticking. That's fine. Yeah, 16. Just cut out wider.
Well, the Knights are excited to see guards in play, being down 3 here in the back half, so hopefully they can maybe get a few sunk and put some pressure on SAIT to make some run backs here. It's looking really good here.
Yeah, that's a
Spending-
great shot by Brianna Zaghetti Jonathan. Maybe not completely buried, but right on the tee line, and it's going to force a chase by SAIT.
Calling for board weight here to make the, looks like a half rock hit and roll with that weight.
Big, okay? 11-4. 11-4.
Yeah, 11-4 is not bad
It's
for
not
a board
bad,
weight
no.
hit. Pretty good shot by Kaylee. She didn't quite get the roll she wanted, but that was not an easy dig.
It's nice that that's stuck. Yeah, it kept looking like it was going to go.
Ryan looking much better in this one.
I agree.
That one is sunk.
I would say that one is fully buried now. Yeah, Bailey's going to be forced to maybe peel here.
Ooh, they got a little bit lucky. Kaylee really turned that one over with her intern hit and wrong-sided the peel. Almost jammed it into the yellow at the back. They did get away with it.
Scary. Yeah, got lucky.
2-3.
Niagara will try to replace that guard. And that's a really nice pair of shots by Megan Ford. SAIT at this point would be very happy to give up just 2 in this end. And so they're going to keep peeling guards and force Niagara to try to make something a little bit tougher.
Yeah, it's a bit of a scoreboard call here, Brian. 100%. They're happy to give up 1 or even 2, but a 3 ball and 6 here would be the absolute worst.
She is really positive. Still has one. Okay. You need a double score. Yeah. It worked out. They're scary, but it worked. Sit down. Whoa, take a look.
So Niagara will take the opportunity now to try to get around the other corner guard.
You see here, Brian, coming through a bit of a slide path.
Yeah.
15 seconds still. It seems to be running.
That's a pretty good shot. It didn't bury like they wanted, but there's certainly no double.
No, we got it.
obviously concerned about that jam at the back. Gonna play a little more weight maybe to, in case it does catch a bit of that yellow to spill out of the rings here.
Nine. Clean. Clean. Yep. Hard. Yep. Yes. Yes. Whoa. It's just gonna jam on this. Hard roll.
Okay, and that's exactly what Niagara was looking for.
Sorry, it was right in between the two.
They've now got to hit the play to lie 3. And that was the danger of playing it that way, but I think it was the right call by SAIT, because if you had hit the open one, Niagara would have come around the corner guard again, and then you've got 2 red rocks to deal with that are partly buried.
And a bit of a Christmas tree too would have happened, and no real double possibility.
Cassie Bernard now with the soft weight hit, trying to hit and stick to lie 3.
Stick this red one over there and spread them out. It's a really good shot. I think she does.
Yeah, that is a very good shot.
Just hung around there.
Yeah, I don't know this turn.
So Bailey's going to just try to hit that one with control weight hit and roll over to the other side of the sheet. Try to get something in front of those 2 reds.
It's a 10. Big roll.
This looks like tight ice, but as we've seen, the rocks coming into center are not curling as much as they are out to the wings.
Bailey mentioned before she went down that this is a term she knows, so obviously maybe expecting it to run straighter.
Why did that one curl?
And it did not. I thought that was pretty tight ice, but
Was it down?
It seemed to fool Bailey a little bit, thinking why it curled so
I don't
much,
think it did.
but
Okay, but it curled.
it did curl. There's no doubt about that. I didn't think she threw it that badly.
yeah, I haven't really seen any evidence with any of her rocks earlier in the game of anything over curling or maybe being a bit slower, so
Yeah.
not sure with that one.
Yeah, I don't know. That one? Oh, we got that. 11-5.
So Julia Marco will try to put this just above the tee line.
They can put this top of the rings here. I think they're gonna force
I think it's just gonna back up.
St. Brian to hit something in the open.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And this has been a very well executed end by the Niagara Knights. They've made a lot of good shots here, and it's paying off for them. They got a little bit of a break on the one rock that both reds just hung on on the edges of the 12-foot, but they've made some really good shots this end.
Yeah, any mistake that SAIT's made, they've capitalized no problem in putting their rocks in good spots. So yeah, no, very well played end by the Knights here.
Brian, 9. Behind the guards.
Very precise opening, Brian, but if she can make that roll behind the two rocks over there, it may give the Knights a bit of a headache to dig it out, but very long roll here.
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
That's not bad.
Good attempt.
Yeah.
I think maybe a little better throw with that one. They
Well,
called that one a bit.
Yeah, I
nicer,
think she's more positive, and she definitely had more weight.
Okay.
And when I say positive, what I mean is an outward motion towards the broom as opposed to just letting it go. And I think she might have been just a little bit soft on the release on the first one.
Okay.
I also think that she threw a lot more weight on the second one,
Yes.
and it reacted a lot more like she expected.
Yeah, 100% they did.
So Julia Markle with a hit for 4 here in the 6th end.
Really looking to hold this one straight to avoid that jam back there for the extra point.
Oh, that's too bad. She jammed on the back one and she only gets 2. So it's a big 2 for Niagara, but boy, that's an opportunity missed. They had a great chance there to get 4 and go 1 up after 6 ends. Instead, it will be 4-3 SAIT as we go to the 7th end.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
Back for the 7th end, and a good shot to start things off by Brianna to get that guard up.
Room. Room.
So the goals now for Niagara, they will be going all out to get a steal in this end. For SAIT,
Curl together.
they would love to get a blank, but if not, they will try to get a multiple score and try to be 3 or more up going into the last end.
Niagara looking for the double centers here to get things set up to, like you said, Brian, to get a steal here.
Yeah, and that's a smart call. They really need to go all out to get a steal here. I'm very impressed, actually, with Julia Markle's strategy. She's played a very smart game.
Mm-hmm. No, well executed too. 2 good center guards. Forcing SAIT to make a good one. Top 4. This is a big shot here for the end. If it slides a little deep, obviously it gives the Knights a bit of real estate to work with, but putting this one on the X is always a big one.
Bailey looked at throwing another one to the wings, but she's decided to come to the middle, and I think that's the right play. You really want to try to beat Niagara to the 4-foot right now,
No,
because after Niagara's next shot, SAIT is just going to be peeling.
yeah,
So
I
it's
would agree
great
with
to
you
have
on
one
that.
in the 4-foot, and this is going to be almost perfect. Really good shot by Madison Mallow.
It's a very good spot.
Madison Mallow was named the ACAC Curling Player of the Year this year.
Oh, wow.
And I talked to her about that before the game, and she was just thrilled. She said it was really a result of a lot of hard work she's put in, and she's very proud of that award.
Oh, that'd be a huge accomplishment, and like you said earlier, a lot of good curlers out of that ACAC program, and I guess maybe conference they call it. So it's a huge honor to get that.
Well, and as you know, Matt, being a lead, you don't always get many accolades
No.
when you're the lead. So I think it's great that ACAC has recognized her for that
always
award.
appreciate the lead. The leads appreciate the leads out there in this sport for sure.
Well, it has become just so important with the way the game is played now with the 4-rock rule and all of the rocks in the 4-foot and the importance of beating the other lead to that spot.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of my non-curling friends don't maybe agree with that statement at all, that we're just the leads. We just maybe carry the brooms and throw our first 2 up there and then sweep our butts off. But no, the game has changed, and those lead rocks are sometimes the most important ones in the end, especially in a situation like this for Niagara where they're down 1 and needing a big steal. Those first 2 are huge.
So we had a really nice draw around the center guards by Megan Ford, and then a peel by Kaylee. And so Niagara now is in good position to get a steal here. They're just going to keep guarding now, probably at least until Skips rocks, and then they might make a decision on trying to get another one in there.
Sneaking that one for shot was a big one for the Knights here. They can guard for a bit here, hoping they make their guards perfect and put some pressure on SAIT later in the end.
And that's a good guard. Bailey knows she's got to make sure that she's keeping the middle open here, so she's going to play a peel here, maybe a double peel.
It might be tough. You might push that red in, depending how thick. If we can, again, away end, we don't have an overhead view, but I do believe there might be a double peel option to hit it right.
Yep. Hard. Just clean.
Getting very close here. See where this other red goes.
Yeah, that's a great shot by Kaylee Shannon.
That's okay.
She did push the red into the rings, but it's in a position where it's really not dangerous for them. And so now it's a situation where Niagara is just throwing a single guard instead of 2 guards.
Yeah, you're right. That red one's only 4th shot now, so not too much of a harm for SAIT pushing that in the rings. Getting those 2 are the most important.
That guard's a little tight, but it gets the job done.
Pretty steep, but just
And again, SAIT will just peel that one. They may try to make a double here, but it's not necessary to double that other red out.
Yes.
oh. Girl.
Might stick this on that far red as a bonus.
Wow, that's a great shot by Raylan. Is she having a game?
Very well played.
Hit it too thin, actually. That's fine.
Raylan is a native of Calgary, unlike Bailey Scoffin, who is from Whitehorse, Yukon, but has moved to Calgary to go to school.
Starting to get cold.
The lead, Madison Malo, is from Bentley, Alberta, which I believe is close to Red Deer, Sylvan Lake, Lacombe area. And Kaylee Shannon is from Lethbridge.
Okay. So a bit of a mix here for the SAIT team.
Yeah. The Niagara team has a couple of girls from Niagara Falls, Megan Ford and Cassie Bernard. Julia Markle is from St. George, Ontario, and Brianna Seghetti Jonathan is from Hamilton.
Clean. Yep. Yep.
Well, Brian, from your expertise, when's
I know, I saw that.
when's the right time for? Would you ever, if you're Niagara, try to half tuck another one, or are you still guarding here to maybe lock up your steal?
I think it's an either or. I like
Yeah.
throwing a guard again. If you throw a guard again here, you know that Bailey is going to have to peel that guard. And then you make a really good one on your last one, and she's going to have to make a decision on whether she gives up one
As I thought it would be.
or makes
Yeah.
a shot to try to score. And it looks, with where the broom is, it looks to me like she's throwing another guard.
Looks like it for sure.
We just need Northall. Northall's not good. That was oh, the arena was nice. Curling club was so cool. So I could or yeah, I don't know. It's
Gotta
really
get this over a little more to the center line.
Yeah, they really kind of wanted to overlap the yellow rock. It just didn't curl quite as much as she wanted. It's taken away the in-turn tap, but it leaves that out-turn tap for Bailey Scoffin on the yellow, which she will do to try to promote her own rock up. Or it looks like she's going to play ahead, and that's probably the right call, because if she nuts this, she can be laying 3 and in really good shape here.
9-5. Yeah.
That was not an easy shot for Julia Markle, because she really had to try to cover both of those rocks and just didn't get quite as much curl as she had hoped for.
Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Girl. Girl.
Pretty good. Got the job done. She didn't hit the red out cleanly, but she did get it out for third shot, and so now
Leaves a little bit of room for
Yeah.
the Knights to fully bury one behind that red and still stay shot, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And again, maybe a bit of a him and a ha scoreboard wise. They're thinking there, do they take the risk of making a good roll and eliminating one, or drawing behind? What would be your preference, Brian?
I think I would play the draw. I mean, if she makes a perfect hit and roll here, she can still get a force and be 2 down coming home, which is not a bad situation. But this is not an easy hit and roll to make. If you play the draw and you don't make it perfectly, you're going to give up 3 and the game is over.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure that's what's going through Julia's mind right now, is this is a little bit safer shot. And she may not know how to get a draw around that guard. It's in a spot that we haven't really seen a draw around yet.
No, we haven't played that route yet at all today. It's a bit of a guess for sure. Well, they're liking it here. It's looking very close. Oh no, they might have lost the line a bit.
Yeah.
Yep. 10.
So she has got shot rock, but it's going to be an open hit for 2 for Bailey Scoffin.
Nose gets it.
Again, that 10 weight seems to be pretty consistent for maybe both teams to the hit and stick weight.
Clean. Clean. Just clean. Whoa. Just clean. Yep.
And that's a very confident throw by Bailey Scoffin for 2. So SAIT gets 2. They'll go up 6-3 as we head to the final end.
Good end, guys. In or through? Don't, no guard. That's what I mean.
So we head to the 8th end with SAIT leading 6-3. This has been a very entertaining game.
Mine's good.
And once again, Madison Mallow will be asked to throw one in the rings.
Keep going, keep going. Yep. 16-2.
Madison has had a little bit of a case of the lights on her draws today. That's fine. That's in the rings, but they would rather have had that right to the forefoot. And Brianna Saghetti-Jonathan will now throw another corner guard. She's thrown a lot of corner guards in this game.
Do you like that call on the rhyme? Would have had a shot for 3 if it was my first one killed this. Yeah, we got the rock. Yeah, top 4. I think I'm going to come this way, though.
And that is a long corner guard.
They'll definitely have to sneak another one under there, I think, with their next one to make
Yeah,
it
you're right. They'll
useful
probably
for sure.
try to double stack the corners.
Yeah.
So once again, Madison Mallow will try to come into the rings. This time she'll probably try to get it right to the forefoot.
Looks big. Okay, yeah.
See if we get a time here, Brian.
Oh,
It's
it's
8th
picked.
end, and
Yeah,
just
that
picked.
ruck
May have
picked.
to
Keep the broom down.
retime that one.
I think that time is going to be very
That was-
meaningful. This is a
yeah.
really bad break for Madison because it's going to end up being a corner guard. And it looked like she actually threw that one really well.
Fortunate break for SAIT here. And no, I was just gonna say to get a time there to see what a rock does in the 8th end after a full game,
Yeah.
especially in that draw path, is something these teams will obviously keep their eye on as we head deeper into the week and come playoff time. That would be an important tool for them. But
Looks like it.
So that's a really good weight by Brianna. Just not quite the right line. It just didn't quite curl enough. So this will be a pretty open hit for Kaylee Shannon.
Oh!
Looks like she got that one out a bit.
out a little bit. Should make a move here.
Get it the roll out if you can. That's a miss.
Hits it on the nose, which is not what they were looking for. They would have rather rolled that one out, but
Fine.
it gives an opportunity for Niagara to play a freeze on that.
Popped her hair. Oh, keep forgetting there's no board. You staying warm? Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like better than last bench, that's for sure.
So that's not a bad shot for Megan Ford.
Yep.
She's just a little bit heavy, but I like where she's moved that yellow rock to. That's a spot where it's going to be a lot more usable for Niagara.
They may have the right line too. If just a fraction heavy, it would have been a very nice freeze, just a few feet lighter. But again, you're right. They pushed it to a great spot behind that corner guard for a
Clean.
corner freeze later in the
Clean.
end.
Oh. Yep. Oh, whoa. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, yep, yep.
Oh, that is a great shot. Really good shot by
It's a
Kaylee
great,
Shannon.
yeah, very good. Leaving it half open too is brilliant as well. Takes that inside roll away from the Knights if they need it later on. It's a very good outcome.
Like if they did freeze PLR on, or I mean theirs. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think we just clear out
I
guards?
think it's
We're
curly early,
having to go to
Brian.
get this by.
I
Yeah,
guess we peel right now.
curly earlier than the first few we've seen down here.
Or should I throw out the guard?
And I kind of think Megan was just a little bit light on that one. That would have, even if it had got by the guard, would probably not have made the rings, might have just barely made the rings. And SAIT is going to call their timeout and talk to Shannon Clydebrink. And my guess is that Shannon is the one that called this timeout from the bench. We can't see her from where we are,
Sure.
but you could see the
Yeah, I know.
curlers at the far end calling timeout. And I think this is actually a really good timeout because there definitely are a couple of options here. You could peel that guard. That's the obvious call. But this also may be the time where you just go for the throat and that's what they're calling, is just to play a guard. And then it's going to take several shots for Niagara to get at that rock that's in the 4-foot.
I was curious if it was gear time to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Change the approach because they're sitting very well here, and
Sometimes you have to think, what would the other team want us to play or want us not to play? And if I was Niagara, I would say, I don't want them guarding this rock because then I'm not sure how I'm getting it out.
That's fine.
That's a good shot by
really good
Raylan.
spot.
5-5.
So Niagara now with 4 rocks remaining, and they're going to have to count 3 of them to tie this game.
Halfway.
So there's really no choice for Julia Markle but to hit this rock and try to roll the shooter into the rings. She'd like to get 2 yellows out here and get access to that yellow rock that's in the 4-foot.
Lucky and catch the side yellow, and they do.
Yeah, that's a pretty good break.
Changes a little bit.
Still trouble in the middle, though.
Yes, no, with that one top button is going to be very difficult to move. I think it looks pretty well buried with that one they just ticked. So
The one thing to think about is Niagara does have a slash on that red rock that's about a halfway guard. They can slash that one into the shot rock if they need to on the last one.
Well then, it's gotta be this halfway.
yeah, no, you got to be careful if you're SAIT. If another red one
Curl.
creeps in here, yeah, you're right. That angle run is always there, and
Curl.
the ability of these teams to make shots like that is never out of the question. I think we maybe saw an example of that in the Olympics with Brad Jacobs and Team USA, where a freeze was made and the Americans thought they had the steal, and Brad was able to pull a nice shot off to get his deuce. So you're never out of the woods when it comes to rocks in play and possibilities of angler runs. For sure.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit nervous if you're SAIT about the position of that rock. But Niagara is now called a timeout, and they're going to talk to their coach, Chris Pulowski. And what do you think the options are here, Matt?
Well, I thought tight ice.
can maybe listen to the conversation here, but
And then
again, yeah, it's getting a little late. You need to at least have 2 reds in there.
it's definitely
Like we're
good.
second.
Here.
I just think that needs to be my last.
Okay. Okay.
Like, do you like the yellow into this? Like, it might come back into that.
Stuff that was on my side?
Yeah, on this side.
Okay.
Or no, slash it over the top,
Okay.
just in case. I don't know.
Can we slash it over the top though? With like the guard up there, or are we guarding? Like hitting the guard?
The yellow?
Like the guard on the left?
Yeah.
We're hitting the guard on the left?
Yeah, this yellow.
Okay.
I
I thought you were
think-
talking about the ring.
Oh.
I was like, that's not
That's
this
not
ring.
I think if we hit across and maybe it, at least give us something on the top, because we don't, the only thing we have is this, and it's only for 2.
Yeah, we need to open.
But if she ever, sorry Cass, but if you ever miss that, that's totally taken away.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, yeah. We have 11 minutes, or no, still 9 minutes.
Good conversation, right, Brian?
Yeah. So I think this shot makes sense. This can open things up a little bit in the middle.
Yeah, I believe it was Julia brought up the point of the middle's not looking exactly how they needed to yet to be able to have a chance on her last. So moving some granite here. It's gonna be the call.
So Cassie Bernard trying to run that yellow in and do some damage on those other yellows in the house.
Do you like the guard still? Like she's
Close to get one of them. Shit.
Okay, that was close to being a really good shot, but it just hit a little bit too thin.
middle.
A little unfortunate there to leave it as second shot. But could be a potential double on those 2 yellows
There could be.
later on if,
Yeah.
if it has to come down to it.
Bailey is going to try to take that away right now. It's looking pretty grim right now for Niagara, just because they've only got that 1 rock in the rings. If they had another one in the rings, they would have a opportunity to play that slash in, but they're going to have to find a way to get the next rock into the ring so that that slash is a possibility for a 3.
Right after curl. Curl. Whoa. Whoa.
That's a very good shot.
Good spot. Well, it leaves the intern for the Knights here to potentially sit that third, like you were saying, Brian, to hit and roll
I know.
into a decent spot. The only tricky thing is you can't really roll in for shot. I don't think you want to, because you'll be behind that yellow, and that angle run might be removing one of your reds. But we'll see what you can do here for a roll.
Yeah, I like this call. This is the way for her to get that second rock
Yeah.
in the rings. And then what do you do if you're Bailey scoffing? Do you guard that red slash
I
in?
can't put a sweater on underneath this. I'll be fine.
Yeah, no, if she makes a good roll, I don't know if you can dig any of the reds
And it's
out.
further back.
Certainly not easily. So we'll see how the roll turns out.
She's just doing like back line. Yeah. And that one's biting. I think it's way too much ice. Oh yeah. Oh, it's moving.
It's really close, Brian.
Yeah.
Watch the roll here. Okay.
Pretty good.
Well, that's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, there's no.
Just a hair more.
It's a actually a very good roll. Can't be removed and forcing SAIT to throw another guard, right?
Yeah, and I think they're going to try to bring this guard in tight enough that it's taking away
12.
that red slash on the
Yes.
rock, that halfway
12.
guard.
Yeah, you're right. Ideal.
I'd rather it be in. We just want to block the run back. I think you gotta go. Line's good. Curl! 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 Curl!
Well, her line was good, but I don't think that came far enough, and that run back slash is definitely available for Niagara.
Okay.
It's tricky though, because you easily could run it in and jam it on the yellow on your own rock as well.
No, I think we're
It's all
maybe on
right.
the same page of picking the right weight to stick your shooter is the most important piece with obviously the line being important
I don't
as
think
well.
it's there.
But
She has to hit it like
she's gonna have to
going to
throw like
nose.
maybe a bumper weight and try to
Yeah.
hit half that yellow.
Like, don't she have to hit nose? Yeah. Yeah, right there. It's just here, right? Okay. What do you think, 9, just in case?
Yeah, 995.
Like here? Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's make it.
it's a little deeper than it wouldn't be.
Well, all they wanted was a chance, and they've got a chance, and they have a chance because of the great first shot by
Alrighty.
Julia Markle.
They could have got it there then.
I know where to hit this. I
bit
just
of a
need
stick
to
They
handle
got one in.
in the 4-foot to try to poke that yellow up in the over the top. I think they settle on a 9.5, Brian. Is that the way?
They did,
Boys
yeah.
only have 2.5
Okay.
minutes.
Which is not huge weight, but
Nope.
as you said, Matt, I think if you could make it with softer weight, you give yourself a little bit better chance to stick the one you're running in.
Oh. Yeah, he was.
Oh, she almost came off the back of the
One
other
yellow?
one. Really good try by Julia Markle, and that is the final score will be a steal of 1 for SAIT, and they win it 7-3. Very entertaining game.
Oh, well-called game, especially first one out of the gates. Maybe a lot of learning for both teams. And I guess, I haven't taken a look at the playoff schedule, but you never know. They might be back on the sheet for a final if it's the stream game.
Thank
So
you.
hopefully coaches were doing their
Good game.
jobs
Good
and
luck.
they'll be able to track
played
some
really
rocks
well.
and maybe be back on the sheet later in the week.
Yeah. And maybe we'll see these two teams again in the playoffs. Well, thanks, Matt. It's been my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. No, thanks, Brian. It'll be a good week and looking forward to
Brr.